So here I'm standing in Warsaw, the capital of Poland, this hot August day in 2020, and I'm standing at the east bank of the Wisła river, or Vistula in English and Latin. And here we have the old city in the distance. That is actually not the original buildings, because they were rebuilt after the Second World War, because the whole of this western bank, the center of Warsaw, was completely demolished by the Germans during the Second World War. And here you have the new city center, and the highest tower there is the Pałac Kultury, the Palace of Culture and Education. It was a gift, so to speak, from Stalin. So it's a Stalinist monument among those more modern skyscrapers. And Warsaw, it's probably its origins can be dated back 1,000 years ago, but the first time it's mentioned in the actual documents, it's during the medieval era, around 700 years ago, around the year 1300. And it has been the capital of Poland since 1596, when Zygmunt Vasa, or Sigismund Vasa in Swedish, because he was actually the king of both Sweden and Poland for 8 years. He moved the capital here from Krakow in 1596 because he wanted to be closer to Sweden. And then he was dethroned in Sweden a couple of years later, but he didn't let his aspirations on the Swedish throne go away, and that gave Poland a lot of problems 50 years later, when the Swedes attacked Poland and devastated the country. And they attacked Warsaw as well. And later on, it was incorporated in the Russian Empire, and after that, most people probably know all the tragic events that took place in this city during the Second World War. It defended itself bravely, but to no hope against the Germans. And the Russians waited here on the eastern bank and waited until the Germans had crushed the Warsaw Uprising in 1954, because the Poles wanted to greet the Russians as an independent force. The Russians weren't interested in that. So when the Poles were crushed, the Russians passed over to the western side and liberated Poland, so to speak. In fact, they forced the communistic system on the Poles. So a lot of heavy history here in Warsaw. But now it's very peaceful these days.